Hi y'all, so I will be participating in the Fantasy AdventureAthon, and so I'll be going over my TBR. The Fantasy AdventureAthon is being held from Monday, March 25th through Sunday the 31st, which is about a week away. And it was created by Novel Thoughts and is being hosted by her along with her three lovely co-hosts. The other co-hosts are As Read by Francine, Tiny Book Dragon, and She's That Bookie. I will leave a link to the original blog post along with a link to all four of the host channels, and let's get into it. Okay, so the idea of the readathon is that they choose your own adventure readathon, and so there are multiple different prompts and you make your way up the path from the bottom to the top and you end up at your team mascot, and I have chosen to be part of Team Fairy. So the first challenge is one that everybody participates in, and this is Fellowship, and this is to read the group book. The group book is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I have never read anything by Victoria Schwab, but I am excited to try this out. And from what I understand, this takes place in London, except for there are like 4 different Londons, so it kind of gives me Neverwhere vibes. Okay, then I chose to do the castle prompt, which is to read a book with a royalty word in the title, and I chose The Bird King by G. Willow Wilson. So what I know of this book is that it follows 2 characters, Fatima, which is the Sultan's daughter, and her friend Hassan, which is a magical map maker. And at the start of the novel, I believe that the Sultan is surrendering his power to the Spaniards, and Fatima realizes that the Spanish Inquisition would see her friend Hassan's power as this like magical map maker as almost like witchcraft or sorcery. And so the 2 of them end up fleeing to try to protect Hassan from the Spanish Inquisition. Okay, so the next prompt for me was I will feature a book with black on the cover, and I chose the Pisces and the fish, and this is black. I don't know much about this. I believe this is a woman who falls in love with a merman. It's not so much like a romance. It was longlisted for the Women's Fiction Prize, and I wanted to give it a go because it sounded interesting but weird and strange. The next prompt is read a book that features fabulism. I don't know if this quite fits that. It might be this or the Pisces, but this is Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi. And this features a girl who was born with 1 foot on the other side. And from what I understand, she develops 2 kind of different personas or like personalities. So I think this is about multiple personalities and almost kind of magical realism ish. I honestly have no idea, but I'm really excited for that. This video probably isn't helpful to anyone, but the next prompt is Bewitched, which is read a book featuring a romance. This is Echo North by Joanna Ruth Mayer. And this is actually a retelling of East of the Sun, West of the Moon, mixed with a, and it's mixed with a song that's told in an Irish ballad. So it sounded pretty interesting, and I've never actually read a retelling of East of the Sun, West of the Moon, or I might have completely botched that. But there's that. The next prompt is Quest, and that is to read a short story. I have several options. I could read one of like hundreds of short stories that are published on the internet or through e-magazines or different literary journals. Or I do have this checked out from the library, which is Shades Within Us, which is an anthology of speculative fiction following like migration and fractured borders. So I could read one from this, or I could read the entire thing. This would also fit for some other prompts. I believe there is black on the cover. I could read this for the last prompt. Yeah. And I realize my TBR is hecka ambitious, so I might end up like MacGyvering some of those books into other prompts so that I'm not reading 6 books in a week. Or I might read them all. Who actually knows? But the last prompt is Pixie, which is how you join Team Fairy, and that is to read a book outdoors. And I know a lot of people are afraid to do a read outdoors challenge. There was one in the Booktubeathon a couple years ago. but I actually like reading outside, and the weather is quite nice. It's in like the 60s-ish, and it'll probably by the end of March is usually like 70s to 80s. I got my big floppy sun hat. I have sunglasses, sunscreen, bug bands in case I decide to read more in the morning or at night, and I'm totally going all out for it. Are you going to be doing Fantasy AdventureAthon? And more importantly, have you read any of the books I have selected for my TBR? If so, let me know if you like them or not like them, so that if I decide to pare it down and double up on challenges, I kind of know which ones are more interesting than others, or have help deciding that, really. And I will see y'all later. Bye, y'all.